Okay, so I'm working on my 93 Dodge Spirit. I'm having a hard time finding any videos for this car, so I guess I'll make them. Today I'm doing the CV axle on the driver's side because that's when I was clicking. Obviously you can just tell you hear that damn thing, but you're gonna need a handful of tools, obviously. I'll just go through them as I get there because off the top of my head I don't know. You gotta pull out the cotter pins, so you need needle nose. I use a small hammer to tap it out also. Blah blah blah. Then let's see. Obviously you're going to need to pull off the tire. I'm already past that. I hope you can pull off the tire on your own. 17 millimeters is the size I used for that if you really want that. Okay. To break loose the castle nut, I used a 1 1/4. It fits perfectly. You just put that bad boy on there. I've already loosened mine, of course. You go towards the front of the car. I put it right there. I just stepped on the damn thing. Technically, my big ass gun here will break it loose. That thing is a savage. However, you could step on it, just break it loose. It doesn't really matter. And then, oh, and of course, on top of that, there was the cotter pin. Like I already said, I already pulled out that little castle nut, and then it has a little spring on the inside right there that just pops it off. It's really just there for fun. I don't even know. Okay. Gotta keep my talking to a minimum because my voice annoys me. Alright. Pull that bad boy off. Okay. Now you're gonna need a 1/2 inch to take off your brakes. And I know you don't have to remove everything, I do. If at any point you don't want to do this part, or if you know something better, then don't do it. I know there's always a hack. I just take it all off. So like I said, 1/2 inch. Aw, I can't move it. Alright. Okay. Couldn't turn the ratchet to loosen. Okay, so you just gotta tap these two. Give me 1 second. Alright, so I had to tap mine with a hammer to break it loose. Okay. I'm gonna try and do it in real time as much as possible so that way y'all can see how long this job could take. Okay. That's how long it took to do it by hand, at least. Okay. Now I just got to pry off the rotor, which is a little hard on this one for some reason. So I just put something right there and I just give it a little pry. You got to pull at the bottom first, but I'm just breaking it loose. So on this vehicle, yes, the bottom does come out first because it has a hook on the top right there. So, there we go. Pull out the bottom. And the top comes with, boop. We'll just set that on top of the axle for now. Since I didn't bring a bungee. Okay, brake pads, pull off to the side. Half dead, but not bad. I'll worry about those later. Yeah, see on this one there's nothing that holds the rotor on except for that. Once those are off, the rotor just comes off, so I guess you can consider this a tutorial on how to do that. There you go, you're 2 for 1. Okay, now this back brake is, well, I guess it comes off better from the front. I don't know. Last time I fought it off on the back, but this is a lot easier. Ooh, there's maybe some grease on the back too. These things are dry. I have to remember to grease them when I put them back on. Okay, so now at this point, I'm going to break loose these 4 right here to get this guy out of the way. That way it's nice and free. So, let me see. Okay, now these ones on the back. Okay. Sorry, these 2 first. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Okay. Let me see. I know I brought the right size with me. Okay, 1 second, let me see. Okay, so I had to go get the right socket. It was a 15/16, and I just put it on there and just broke it loose. You don't need anything extra. I do have a little bit of a longer extension. This one's an extendable one. I'll tell you what, that's pretty damn handy to have, but with a little arm strength, you don't really need it. It's just, why not, right? I might want to put a list of the parts you're going to need, or tools, in the description. That way you guys can make it quicker for you. I hate getting up and down myself, so. Okay, that one got really broke loose. And the bottom one is, the bottom one's still pretty tight. There's an assassin. What's up, little lizard dude? I'm doing push-ups. Huh. Back to work in hand. Got my ADD kicking in. A squirrel. Okay, that bracket's off. I think I'm gonna paint that before I put it back on. That'd be cool. Anyway, so now at this point, I'm going to take out. I'm gonna break loose these 4 right here. It's really hard to break them loose with the camera in hand, so I'm gonna pause it again and break them loose. But I will resume so you can see in real time. But whatever. If it's better if you just pause the video, that's fine. And then also I'm gonna go ahead and crack loose these 2. I'm not gonna take them off, but I'm gonna make them. I'm gonna take off the nut basically, you know. And I'm doing that specifically because when I did it last time, I took off the top one and the thing popped out on me. But I left the leave the bottom one in. But I was able to just do it with the top one. But unfortunately, I loosened them both and my shock adjusted on me. So even though I actually have a new CV axle in, my problem was that I adjusted my shock and now the tire has a bad camber. So I'm kind of showing you guys how I did it, but I'm doing something else. so break loose these 2 right here. They take a 13/16. Of course, I rounded mine a little bit, but hey, what are you gonna do, you know? I rounded mine because I was trying to use a bigger size of a 7/8. 7/8 will fit, but it's a little loose. So if that's all you got, to 7/8. Just make sure it's only 6 point. I was using a 16, and that the star. Oh, it didn't work out well. Okay, so I'm gonna pause it for 1 second. I'm gonna loosen these 2. I'm gonna break loose these 4. Now these 4 break loose with a 15-inch, with a size 15 wrench. So that's what you need. It fits right there, just right. And it has 4. 1, 2, 3. And then the really hard one, number 4, down there on the bottom. That one's a bit of a pain in the butt to get to, I'm not going to lie. You can only loosen it by fractions. Of course, once you get it loosened up, you could spin it, but getting it started is a pain in the booty, I'm not going to lie. You just got to get on there. And of course, you can't see the damn thing, so you have to like kind of feel it or get your head in a weird spot. If you get down and you look through there, you can see the bottom one right there, right there. And so my finger's literally touching it. So you can see it from that hole right there. But unfortunately, you got to just stick your head in this. Sorry. stick your head in the danger zone here. And I don't use a jack stand just because I'm a bad person, so definitely don't do that. Use jack stands. I do have a chocolate behind the back tire, so I'm being safety Sam today, but okay, so I'm gonna pause it for, my guess is probably 30 seconds while I break these loose. Okay, so brief interlude. I got my 7/8 on there, I broke them loose. Everything's better now. I got the movement that I did need, so that was okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Unfortunately, I got one of my sockets, because like I said, mine were a little bit bigger rounded because I tried the wrong size, so that's now stuck on there. Now I need to break that loose. Oh well. So yeah, 13/16, break that loose right there. And then with the 15, I broke these loose. But like I said, I wanted to make it as real as possible in real time, so that way you could work along with me and we'll know exactly how long this job should take. Only 11 minutes. Of course, I didn't show the tire taking off, I guess, but still, with a gun, that should take what, 30 seconds? 1, 2, 3. Also, I did not break loose the bottom one down here. I'm gonna go ahead and show that one, show how difficult it is. Let's see. Oh, there's number 3, and then number 4 is on the bottom. I got these broke loose. They're both ready to go. Okay, let me get down there and I'll show you how to get that bottom one. Okay, now we're a little closer. So, as I said before, you can see the bottom nut right there. So you get on that. So I tried with the closed end. I had no luck. Maybe mine's just too fat. I don't know. And that's one of them jobs you have to start like this and break it loose a little bit and then flip it over and then break it loose a little bit and then flip it over. So that's so far the best way I've found. If you find a better way, by all means, do you. So there's that, and then there's that. My only hope is that after a couple of turns I can just break it loose by hand. Let me try there, because okay, so if you put one hand on top of the, you put your thumb on top of the arm and your index finger below the arm, you can get on there. I know the lighting is poor, but you have to trust me, it's going off. I could praise Jesus for that one. Okay, why are you stopping? Don't stop on me. Okay, now it stopped. I don't know why. We got like 3/4 of the way out and then it hit something. I hope it's not hitting this gear. I hate that gear. I don't even have the front ABS. But unfortunately, they all come with that, so. Yeah, it looks like the washer was bumping the gear just a little bit. Okay, it's out. Whee, okay, pull it. Come on. Okay, it's out. I don't know any coming any farther. So now you can grab this big guy here, and we can just pull this loose. You may have to give it a little tap. Like I said, I've already done this job, so mine's obviously easier than yours may be, but okay. So now I'm going to push this back in. I'm going to grab this guy. I couldn't get it before without a magnet, but don't forget this. This goes right there. Okay. I'm going to put that down there, nice and safe. Okay. Now grab your hub. So if you need to replace your hub bearings, there you go. There's that job done. It depends on what you're doing here, I suppose, huh? Alright, there's the rest of your goodies. Okay. Ooh, I should have tied up that brake caliper, darn it. Now do yourself a favor and tie up the brake caliper, tie it up here so this is out of your way, because I didn't do that. Now I'm regretting it. Okay, so what next? Well, let me see. We need to... Okay, 1 second. Okay, so I had to pause it for a solid minute there because I had to find one of my tools that went missing, and then so what I did in the meantime was I turned it all the car, because I had the wheel straight. I turned all the way to the left, that way it would bend the CV like this. And then I took out this top bolt here, but when you take that out, be careful because it is under a little bit of pressure from the shock. So what I did is I have this guy here, the big old long pry bar with a point at the end. I assume that any really heavy duty screwdriver will work, but basically, and don't mess up your threads because this top one has threads here. I literally put it in, okay or not, I put it in there and I just relieve the pressure. You can see it's movable. So as you take out that top bolt, just make sure that you do relieve the pressure. I have a small jack under there too, just in case. It wasn't really needed, but still I put it there. Didn't end up doing anything actually. But anyway, now my CV axle is ready to come out. In fact, I'm gonna relieve the pressure on the jack here. Oh, the jack wasn't even touching. Well, never mind, sure. Okay. As you said, jack's doing nothing then, fine. Okay, so at this point I'm gonna take off the nut. I put the nut back on to give it a bang with the hammer. That's all it needs is one little bang. Anyway, at this point, I'm gonna put this on here. Give it a little bit of a pry. You can see now it's locked up. It's ready to pop right out. Look at that. One more little pry. I'm exerting almost no pressure. I'm just barely touching it with this. Okay, see, it's locked up right on the very tip now. Okay, so I'm going to put the phone down so I can do it gently and not drop anything. So I'm pause it for 1 second. Well, I'm not going to lie, that was a lot easier with a old beat up CV than a brand new one that I'm retaking out. Like I said, I'm retaking mine now because my camera was off, but it involved a little prying, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, at that point you just grab it. You may have to give it a couple jerks. Mine, of course, is new, so it pops right out. And right there's the goods. Also, you're going to need a transmission pan underneath to catch some excess tranny fluid that may roll out. My tranny fluid is actually a tad bit low due to a leak, so I don't really have much of an issue. There's a little bit on there, you can see the red, but otherwise mine's mostly good. So that's how you get it out. To put it back in, you just shove it back in and repeat the steps, of course. So there you go. I'm going to go ahead and clean this off, so I'm not going to record that process because I got mine all gunked up. But it also isn't a terrible idea to replace this gasket here. I mean, it gets old and beat up with time. I reckon it doesn't do that much, considering it just, kind of sits there and blocks dirt from getting onto the boot, which it's going to do anyway from going on the inside. But I mean, it's one of the things you can do. But anyway, as you can see, this whole process with the proper tools should take about 20 to 30 minutes. Definitely not hard. Of course, my CV axle is only 24 hours old, so it did not want to come out. I'm not gonna lie, it fought me. I almost considered taking out that bottom bolt. If you take out the bottom bolt right there, it would be a lot easier because then this would the whole bracket would drop down. But you're gonna have to fight that back in. And I'm not gonna pretend that's an easy process. I didn't do it. So good luck with that one. Anyway, there you go. There's your video. Hope it helps you. If you have any questions, ask in the comments. I'll see what I can do.